Hi class, here's problem number 2 on our notes for today, which is 6.8 notes day 1, quadratic word problems. This one, an object is fired straight up from the top of a 200-foot tower at a velocity of 80 feet per second. The height, h of t, of the object t seconds after firing is given by the equation h of t, so the height equals a negative 16 t squared plus 80t plus 200. To put a little bit of maybe real world situation behind this problem, I guess I kind of think of this one as being at a Twins game, and TC Bear, he wants to give out some free t-shirts, and he puts those t-shirts inside a gun, right? Air gun, and then he's, puts his hand up to his ear and says, who's going to be the loudest one? I'm going to shoot the shirt in that direction, and people hoot and holler and stuff like that. TC Bear's on this 200-foot tower, okay? And he's firing this t-shirt up at 80 feet per second. So that's kind of the situation that we could picture. So you could kind of think to yourself, this t-shirt is going to go up, it's going to reach a maximum height, and then it's going to go down again. So it's going to be a parabolic type shape. Letter A, find the maximum height reached by the object and the time that the height is reached. So once again, kind of like our problem number 1, it has a negative a value, doesn't it? That negative 16t squared. So that tells us that it's going to be a parabola that opens down. So for that reason, the vertex is going to be an absolute maximum point. So find that maximum height, find h right here, and let's see, and the time that the height is reached. So find the x and the y coordinate of our vertex. So to find then the x and the y coordinate of the vertex, you first have to find the axis of symmetry, which is a negative b over 2a. So a negative 80 divided by a negative 32. A negative 80 divided by a negative 32, that would be 2.5, or 2.5. So x equals 2.5. Now we want to find the maximum height, and that's always the y coordinate. So we also have to find the vertex, and the way you do that is by substituting in the x value. So my height is a negative 16 times 2.5 squared plus 80 times 2.5 plus 200. Now I've already done this one in my calculator. If you want to pause the video and do all this work in your calculator, feel free to do that. But we get a value of 300. H equals 300. So as you can see on our graph right here, at 2.5 seconds, so here's 2, here's 3, at 2.5, my shirt that TC Bear shot with that gun got to right there, which is 300 feet. So my answer, find the maximum height. The max height is 300 feet. And the time that the height is reached, it reached that height in 2.5 seconds, in 2.5 seconds. You know that because that is where the vertex is. Letter B, find the y-intercept. And what does it mean in this situation? Now the y-intercept, which is right here, okay, that's where our graph crosses the y-axis at. Now the way that we're going to find this, we could look at the graph, but we could maybe be a little bit off if we just look at the graph. We want to be completely exact. So the way that we find the y-intercept is this value right here is at 0 and something, right? It's left and right 0, and it's up, it looks like about 200 feet. So let's just take a look at that. I know that my x coordinate is 0. So in my equation, negative 16t squared plus 80t plus 200, I want to find when my time is 0. What is h when my time is 0? H equals a negative 16 times 0 squared plus 80 times 0 plus 200. Well, this right here just becomes 0. This here just becomes 0. So 0 plus 200, my height is 200. So to answer my question, find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the point 0 and 200. What does it mean in this situation? Now answering this question, what does it mean in this situation? When no time has passed, where's the object at? Or in our case, where's the t-shirt at? The object is 200 feet high. And why is that? Because our TC bear is at the top of a 200-foot tower. So when no time had passed, he hadn't shot the gun yet, at 0 time, it is 200 feet high. And when does the object return to the height it was released at? So when does it return to 200 feet? It starts at 200, which is right here. TC bear shoots it, and it goes up, and now it reached its maximum height, and now it's going to go down, down, down. When does it return? Right here again. Once again, we can kind of look at our graph, and we would kind of have to maybe guess a little bit to approximate, but let's actually find out for sure. We want to find out where is this time when my height is 200 feet. We know that the initial height is 200, so let's find our time in that case. When my height is 200 feet, and my equation of a negative 16t squared plus 80t, I believe, plus 200, I want to find what is t when my height, the initial height, is 200. So let's just solve for t. I'm going to get a 0 on the left side by subtracting 200. So now I have a 0 on the left. That equals a negative 16t squared plus 80t. And then plus 200 minus 200, that just gives me 0. So now I'm seeing a GCF that I could take out of both of them. I can take out a negative 16t. So I get 0 equals a negative 16t. And what do I have left? I have a positive t, and I have a negative 5 after I take out the negative 16. So each of these are factors, and I'm going to set each of those factors equal to 0. So negative 16t equals 0, and t minus 5 equals 0. So if I divide here by a negative 16, I get t equals 0. And if I add 5 here, I get t equals 5. So my function is 200 feet high when my time is at 0, which we already knew that. When time is 0, we already knew it was 200 feet. That's the initial height. And it also returns to that height on its way back down after 5 seconds. So TC Bear, he shoots this shirt way up tall to a bunch of screaming fans in 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Boom, that shirt is right back at 200 feet again. So t equals 5 seconds is our answer to letter C. Did we answer the question in full? When does the object return to the height it was released at? Yep, it returns to that height after 5 seconds. So that is how you do that problem. Let me know if there's any questions that you have.